Alright, so this was my chest and tricep workout. I usually like to start the workout with this dynamic little warm-up that I do. As you can see, I can do these pullovers. I stick to unilateral movements just so I can really develop that mind-muscle connection, kind of just get my tendons loose. I really like this movement. I not only feel it in my lats, but I also feel it slightly in my tricep. I must say I actually do this for every workout that I do, actually, even on my leg days. I like to add a little bit of volume, and this way I'm still getting some volume not only in my lats but also my triceps, and those are some of the areas I've been really trying to get more developed. And then I transition straight to these almost face pulls. I like to do these to really focus on the rear delts. Again, I do these one arm at a time, get a nice pump going. Again, just really get my shoulders loose, my joints loose, my tendons loose, because that's one thing that over the years I've kind of trained a lot, but I've also taken for granted how much of a tear and how much damage you can really put on your joints and tendons. Then I go straight into the tricep pull downs, and I do these again one arm at a time. Again, just really developing that mind-muscle connection. And for all these movements, I find a good weight that I can do for 10 to 12 reps across the board. For me right now, it just depends on the pulley that I'm using, but it's anywhere from 45 to 60 pounds. And if you're a big pre-workout guy like me, this also really just helps that pre-workout just kick in a little more as you're developing that synergistic connection. And then I go straight into the biceps. As you can see, I try to think of like almost like a movement chain that really targets all my muscles of my upper body. But yeah, again, just 10 to 12 reps, nothing too fancy. Kind of just lets me also think about all the work and the sets I'm about to prepare myself for. And then last but not least, I do these almost like these shoulder pull downs. However, I do pull them slightly in front of me to also activate my pecs a little bit. And then if you're lucky enough at your gym, it's almost like this small little ball, but it's a really good apparatus and just device that I like to use for my warm-ups. Looks like a little shot put. And then I end it all off with some push-ups just to give my pecs a little more of a pump. And it is chest day, so there you go. And I do this 2 times through, and that really gets you ready for your workout. After completing that warm-up 2 times through, since it's chest day, I started off my chest day with these push-ups, and then I do these almost like these shoulder rolls, but I really like to focus just on the blood flow and just kind of, focus on that pump. And then I transition into my narrow grip push-ups, activate the triceps a little more. I always love starting off my chest days with these dumbbell inward presses. I really focus pushing the weight in and up at the same time. You can tell by my grip, I'm barely hanging on because I'm pushing them against each other. Really good contraction through the full pec right here. Doesn't take much weight at all either to get a good pump. Then I transition into these dumbbell pullovers. I do them at an incline. I really like doing pullovers with the dumbbell, especially because I really get a good contraction in that upper pec, and I can just focus on that weight moving. Again, I'm using 50 pounds here, and I like to find a weight that I can just stick with through the superset, because right after, as you see, I'll do these dumbbells overhead tricep extensions. By this time I'm burning, but I like it. You can really feel that pump. So I did that 2 times through, and then we moved on to our next working set. 2 sets of 10 here on these incline presses. using 100-pound dumbbells here. As you can see, I really emphasize that just momentum, that big force drive at the very top. Kind of just contract my pecs as hard as I can at the top. Force that blood in there. And then my last working set here, my third set, was just one big giant set of the presses, followed by the inward presses and the pullovers. I take about 2 minutes rest between each set, but I highly recommend, if you're not contracting your pecs or any body part at the top of the movement to the hardest of your ability, you should try it, because it really makes each rep that much better, and your pump only gets even better. But again, if you can tell by my hand positioning and the way I'm holding the dumbbells, I'm really exaggerating that inward push when I'm doing those inward presses, and that's really important, especially if you're trying to get that nice full solid pump in the pecs. As you can see, I'm a little lazy on my form here, but man, by this time, them partial reps, they do wonders, because you're feeling it here, man. You're feeling it. So then we moved into 3 sets of these weighted drop set dips. Really good stuff. So these chains are 30 pounds each, so I start off doing 60 pounds plus my body weight. Again, I'm tilting myself inward, really focus on, you know, the contraction in the pecs here. I like dips a whole lot because you can do so much with them. If you going straight up and down, you feel it a lot more in the shoulders, but right now I have a 4-day split where I actually give a whole day just for my shoulders and biceps. So yeah, make sure I'm trying to get as much of a contraction in the pecs as possible. So I go 60, 30, then body weight. I just do these a failure. I take 2 minutes between each set. And yeah. My next exercise are these pull downs. Really a big fan of these pull downs. I like to either use a rope or just two bands that I'm using here. Really focusing on the pull out at the very bottom of the movement. This way I can kind of lock in some blood flow and activate the pecs a little more. Then I superset this with some overhead extensions. I did about 10 to 12 reps on the pull downs and 10 to 12 on the extensions 3 times through here. Then my last exercises here were these chest flies, supersetted with some push-ups. I'm a huge fan of chest flies, especially at the end of the workout. Just get a good overall stretch on the pecs. As you can see, I like to roll my hands inward. I really feel like I get a better contraction, especially in that inner pec, as you see. But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of supersets. I always try to squeeze them in. Good way to add intensity and volume without necessarily adding more weight. But thanks for watching, and just stay tuned for some more awesome videos and content. Keep on pumping.